And a lot of luck, ladies and gentlemen.
The 1999 Eurovision Song Contest!
Paul, strike a light. Did you see me, Mother? No, I was there. That must have been one of the longest introductions we've ever had to a Eurovision Song Contest, but it's about to get up and running now. Now, these postcards which you heard about, perhaps we can help each other through them, because they're a bit of a puzzle. This is Jacob's ladder, Jacob's dream, in which the divine presence was revealed to him, and in his dream, Jacob sees a column of angels descending from heaven on a ladder towards Israel. This is where it gets kind of confusing. But it will introduce the first song, which is the Lithuanian entry, going to be sung by Aistir. It's written by Limas Runsha and Sigitas Gerda. You're not going to give me an argument on those, are you? The song is called Strasdus, the song thrush. Oh, 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 complained bitterly the song thrush. My poor feet are freezing. It's definitely a Eurovision Song Contest. Now, Lithuania then. Aistir, first song of the last Eurovision of this century. Yeah, there's some Lithuanians there who don't agree with him. Pharaoh and his army, as you can see. The exodus of the children of Israel enslaved in Egypt, and the drowning of Pharaoh's army in the Red Sea in their effort to pursue the children of Israel. At the Red Sea, because you can't drown in the Dead Sea, despite what it's called. Now, if you'd like to follow this on CFAX, it's page 888. Page 888. This will introduce the Belgian entry. It's song number 2. Vanessa Schilitor, Ilbe, John Terra, Emma Philippa Hjalmars, and Wim Klaas have written the songs, and the singer, Vanessa Schilitor, released her first single in 1998 and is a popular singer in her homeland. Like the Wind is the song. Comme le vent. Sea sports, as you can readily see. Yes, sir. Now, you'll be pleased with this this Belgian entry, because there's an early but very welcome flash of time. And there's a man on the Mongolian nose flute that I'd like to keep your eyes open for. Yes, he nodded, but he would. Yes, attractive Vanessa Schilitor. It's Noah's Ark as the theme, is for the Spanish entry. Do I have to tell you this story? He was the son of Lamech and the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Don't mention Ham. There's the dove. Now the Spanish entry, song number 3, is No Quiero Escuchar. I don't want to listen. Some signature tune for the Eurovision. 19-year-old singer is Lydia from Madrid. Songs are written by Alejandro Pigueras and Fernando Rodriguez, Adolfo Carmona and Carlos Lopez. Lydia's voice is fresh and powerful, full of nuances and tenderness, it says. Over the land of Israel. I flew in one of them. You see what I mean about these films? They're very hard to put your finger on. You'll just have to suffer along with me. Now, I want you to keep your eye on this woman. She's like a barber shop's pole over Jerusalem tonight. We'll probably full moon over you too. So they're not that far away, are they? Although we are 2 hours in advance. I won't be finished here until 1 o'clock, you know. The Book of Ruth, this is, named after the central heroine, Ruth the Moabite. And I myself have seen the mountains of Moab. Have left her people in her homeland and stood by her mother-in-law. How many of us can say that? He will introduce the Croatian entry, for which I have a sneaking regard. But then, I'm well known as the Kiss of Death. It's going to be sung by Doris. Doris has been the queen of Croatian pop music for a number of years now. What are we looking at now? What's this? Love in an Orange Grove? All these films look like commercials. The Croatian entry is called Maria Magdalena. It's written by Tonči Ojic and Vehoslav Ojic. They're related. Now, I want you to keep a close eye on this. Watch out for a crowd-pleasing strip. And Doris is in the one, a gentlemanly kind of way. I think that's going to do well. That's the Croatian entry. To the contest, of course. Now then, sit up straight. It's the United Kingdom entry next. Song number 5, Jonah and the Whale. Will I trouble you with the tale? No, let me tell you instead about Louise Rose and Jenny Frost and Sophie MacDonald and Callie Clark Sternberg and Anya Lahiri. They're the group called Precious. London, Manchester and Preston all represented there. The composer and the lyricist is the one man Paul Varney. This has been a successful pop hit in Britain, selected by Radio 2 listeners and others. It's called Say It Again, as you well know. The girls are on stage even as we speak, dressed to the nines. You'll notice throughout the contest that the colour grey is the new black, and silver plays a part. Not only with our girls, but every second song and singer every song. So that's the applause for the United Kingdom entry. Are we going to do it again this year? Let's watch and listen. Precious. Say it again.
Say it again.
Anticipation. Quite exhaust. Well done. Great performance from the girls. Well, that's good. I'm worn out. Adam and Eve. Oh, yes. Knocking 7 bells out of the old apple there. Story of creation. All they had to do was leave the apple alone. But, of course, your man tempts the next thing. It's the fig leaves. And downhill after that. It's Slovenia. And Daria Svajađer. Primož Vitarsa wrote the song. Well, we're going from nudity to fully clothed here, are we? I think I can follow this one. There's one of the few I can make the most of. A Slovenian entry, as I say, Daria Svajađer, for 1,000 years of the song. Daria is demurely clad in gold. Crowd. So you never know what you're going to get. There is a lively element, of course. The Sea of Galilee is the theme for the postcard. Many of the miracles attributed to Jesus took place in the Sea of Galilee. The miracle of the loaves and fishes, the western side. The Sermon on the Mount and the of healing took place at Capernaum. You know where that genie in a bottle comes into this, or indeed a ship in a bottle. But it's going to introduce the Turkish entry. Tuba Unal is 25, she's from Izmir, and Adinç Tunç and Ceneyn Tunç could be related again. I've written the song. It's called Donacht. Not spelled like that, trust me. Now, we might be in for a bit of the old belly dancing here. I don't want to build up your hopes. Do you get this? Am I being slow? Hey-ho. Anyway, navels play a big part, I'm glad to say, the belly button in this year's Eurovision. And I want you to keep a very close eye on a woman on the right who's patting. Ask me how I know. That was definitely a Turkish moustache in the audience. Ah, the tabernacle, the workers of the tabernacle. Story of the building of the tabernacle, one of the Torah's longest and most detailed story, technical details of how the tabernacle was to be constructed. And don't ask me about the alarm clock, please. Don't forget, I've seen these things before, but I'm at no advantage. Stig Fonne, 18 years of age, a Colombian by birth, will be singing the Norwegian entry. Norway, of course, always in the history books of the Eurovision for so many null points. And all the better for it. The song is written by Mikael Storlier Eriksen, and they could well get null point with this one. They're bringing the contest roaring into the 90s. Dreadlocks. Living My Life Without You. Stig Fonne for Norway. Norway is followed by Denmark. Joseph and his brothers. A cappella. Joseph, son of Jacob, born of Rachel, and the boys. He was the dad's favorite, of course. This should be an entry. This is a bit of a cut-up, this chap. He'll keep you laughing. Sign him up for Saturday night. Trine Jebsen, Mikael Tessel, sing for Denmark. Song number 9. This Time I Mean It, it's called. They were put together especially for this competition. They've never met before. It's only the second time that Trine Jebsen has performed in public. Oh, yes. Love it. This is a winsome couple. Everybody's got the flags. Oh, yes. It's France next. Now, France haven't had the most distinguished of times over the last few years. Oh, hang on. It's the golden calf. And apparently a fly. It has me puzzled. Then comes the rain. The golden calf turns into a Frisian. French entry. It's going to be sung by Neya. It's written by Luigi Rutiliano, Pascal Gracic, René Cole, and Gilles Lassens. Je veux donner ma voix. I want to give my voice. Ah. Somebody will explain to me in the fullness of time what this has got to do with the golden calf. Anyway, we'll watch this girl for France. She's got one of those Cruella de Vil sings for France. Sorry. It's the prophet. I'll be getting these before me. The book of Zechariah, the 11th of the book of the 12. The prophet who encouraged the Jewish people to build the second temple. This is the Netherlands entry. It's going to be sung by Marlene. She's 27. Very pretty girl. This has a good chance. Marlene is in diaphanous net covering silver trews and Doc Marten boots. It's a sartorial melange that will please. And it will be sung in English, like so many of the songs, because they've lifted the restrictions, as you've probably heard. Was it Seagal, Yeagal, or Daphne, I tell you? This is called One Good Reason. I recognize that tune, too. Could be anything. They're all like coffee commercials, these, aren't they? Well, there goes Zachariah. Here comes the Dutch entry, and Marlene. The Dutch have high hopes for that. Long time since they won as well. David and Goliath, son of Jesse, king of Judah, shepherd in his father's flock, still a lad, smote old Goliath the giant, Goliath of Gath, hero of the Philistines. And was he mad? But it all turned out to be a tennis ball in the end. This is so realistic. Maybe it's meant to be. Jacek will be singing for Poland because it is the Polish entry. It's song number 12 next. And Seweryn Kradziewski and Wojciech Zimbiecki wrote the music. I notice you not challenge me on any of these pronunciations. Just approach them confidently. Good shot. Now the fiddle has made a bit of a comeback this year, as you'll see. There's two girls on the old fiddle here. It's a bit of a sad old song. It's called Prutol Menyer Muso. Hold me tight. Still the cost of wine around here.
Ladies and gentlemen, 11 songs are waiting to be heard, so on with the show. Enjoy. Hi.
On with the show. Now, what's going on here? Anybody know? Oh, it's manna from heaven. Food the children of Israel gathered when they left Egypt. Turned out to be pizzas. The heavenly bread. It's going to introduce the Icelandic entry, which again I think has a very strong chance. Naturally, the motif is food. Very good restaurants here. There is a motif here, and it is don't bring your dog to a restaurant. Selma will be singing for Iceland, and very well, born in 1974. Thorvaldsson and Sveinborn Valvinsson wrote the song. She'll be singing it in English, which I think is enlivened the contest this year. Not that I'm being an Anglomaniac, but pop is an Anglophone thing. And once again, keep an eye out for the grey and silver. I just have a word of advice for Selma. Never turn your back on a crowd like this. Not with drink. So, that's the Icelandic flag. Basket of Moses. Yes, the books of Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers give an account of Moses, chosen one, saved from the fate which befell the Israeli children when Pharaoh ordered them to be thrown in the Nile. Miriam put him in a basket, found by Pharaoh's daughter. Came Charlton Heston. It's the Cypriot entry. It's going to be sung by Marlene. Now, Marlene has lived around the world. She studied at Boston University. She's now at the Royal Academy of Music in London, studying musical theatre, Marlene. And it's a good entry from Cyprus, this. George Kalanicholas wrote it. Yes, river rafting on the Jordan. Cyprus entry is called Phane Erodus. It will be love. Served it right. This is the Cypriot entry. They like it. Just the vaguest hint of a Jerry Halliwell here. Phane Erodus. Go, Marlene. She's gone. The favourite for the contest is next, the Swedish entry, song number 15. What have we here? Ah, David and Bathsheba. David, king, the son of Jesse, king of Judah, fell in love with Bathsheba when he saw her washing on the roof of a house. She was married at the time, and, well, if one thing led to another, the family didn't turn out so well. Oh, I was afraid. We couldn't have been that lucky. We had to have a bit of that. Charlotte Nilsson, 24, sings for Sweden. It was written by Lars Dideriksson and Gert Lengström. Gert is a man's name in Sweden. Where's this then? Must be a lad. Never been there, but they've got a lot of friends who go. They tell me it looks a bit like that. Or either that or it's very dull. Now, this pert Swedishness is a touch heavy on the old purple eyeshadow. This might have been written by Benny and Bjorn. Take Me to Your Heaven. Euro song. Very typical. Very like ABBA. Right. Daniel in the lion's den. And one with indigestion. I didn't know Daniel did the kung fu, but look at that. This is a neat trick. You see, I thought it was elephants that were afraid of mice. This will introduce the Portuguese entry, song number 16. Be of good cheer. There's only 23 of them. I don't go to bed yet. It's going to be sung by Rui Bandeira, 25, born in Mozambique. The song was written by Jorge do Carmo and Toy Andrade. Como tu dar como show. Take my hand. I've been in Israel about 5 days now. I've seen very little like this. This is a cheery chorus to this. I mean, it's really the return of the Portuguese entry. I'm afraid not. Not this year. No Lisbon next year, I'm afraid. Cain and Abel. You notice how they spell Cain? Michael will be very proud. They were born to Adam and Eve after they got the bush from the Garden of Eden. And of course, Cain gave Abel the works. He turned into a sheep. A sheep in the sky. I don't know. This will introduce the Irish entry. Well, Ireland have won the contest more than anybody else, so they've always got to be considered a threat. And this year, I'm not so sure. It's the Mullins, sisters Brona and Karen from Belfast. And actually, it was Brona who wrote the song, or When You Need Me. I think the theme of this film, you know, is sheep may safely graze, providing they don't mind camels and motorbikes. And fellas with handkerchiefs over their heads. The Mullins. Another triumph in silver and grey. When You Need Me. Shalom is not goodbye. Judgment of Solomon. We bring you up to date. You know about the Judgment of Solomon, the two babies. And he said, look, I'll divide it in half. And the real mother said, no, save it. So he gave it to her. That's it. Very, very shortened, but I know, but best I can do in the circumstances and the time allowed. Bobby Singer will be singing for Austria. This is song 18. How the evening is fairly speeding by. Bobby is 18. Singing at number 18. Is this a significant thing? And Dave Moskin, who's written it, is an American. It's a song. What is this about? It's about hats. Here's a couple more. Yeah. Definitely hats and bicycles. Don't ask. The Austrian end is straight out of the early 70s. It's a flower power song. It's called Reflection, Bobby Singer. And it could be John Fred and the Playboy Band. Yes, I know that dates me. Okay.
In front of me was a huge Israeli flag coming forward, and a couple of huge Israelis holding it. It's the promised land, of course. Land of milk and honey is promised to Moses, then Yeshua, and he attacked Jericho. The walls came down to the trumpets. I passed Jericho the other day. There's a casino there now. Group singing for Israel are Eden. And they are Gabriel Butler, Doran Oren, Eddie Butler, and Raphael Dahan. 2 Americans, 2 Salvadors, Israeli-born boys. Song was written by Yaakov Lamay, Gabriel Butler, and Moshe Datz, and Jackie Oved, called Yom Holodet. Happy birthday. And this is a real Euro song. Do I mean that as a compliment? It's a cowboy story. What in heaven's name has that got to do with Jericho? Here's the boys. Sort of Temptations out of the 4 Tops, this.
Well, obviously the crowd all loved it and very enthusiastic. Malta next, and Malta went very close last year. This won't disgrace them in '99. What's this? It started at David, the son of Jesse. Yeah, we've had him a couple of times. And Michael, who's another one of the many women in his life. The old harp, of course. Great way to a woman's heart. This is going to be sung by Times 3. Philippa Randon, Francesca Tamon, and Diane Strafash. The song is written by Moira Strafash and Chris Cicluna. Be sung in English. David and the Harp. Believe in people. These are a saucy trio. Once again, silver's the colour this year. Entry. I wonder will they do as well as they did last year. Who knows? Certainly not me. Tower of Babel. A huge tower. Its descendants built in the city, out in the valley, the land of Shimon. Somebody building a wall now. Possibly knocking it down. Anyway, it introduces the German entry, which is a very, very interesting entry. Well, I'm interested by it. Surprise of the group. And the song is going to be sung in German, Turkish, and English. It's Gastarbeiten German. More Middle Eastern than German. Sung, indeed, written by Ralph Siegel and Bert Meininger. What's it all about, Elfie? It's a Tower of Babel in the sand. Shh. Won't last. Anyway, keep an eye out for Surprise, because they could do very well. The song is called Journey to Jerusalem, Reise nach Jerusalem, and a blatant attempt to curry local favour. Well, Samson. Well, you know the story of Samson. Got the old, lost the old hair. God gave him back his strength. And this is to introduce the Bosnia-Herzegovina entry, which is called Putnici, Passengers. It's written by Dino, and bless me here, Dervish. He's singing it as well with Beatrice Pulo. And it's the second, you will see on the stage, the second balalaika in succession of the evening. Extraordinary thing this is. Good heavens. Oh well. Anyway, there's an old fiddle in this as well. And as I say, second balalaika. And on this guy, the designer stumble looks good. I just wish his mother had time to finish the pullover. It's Sid Little meets Tina Turner. quite the last song. There you are. And you were thinking, my goodness, the night is very sped by. This is the Zodiac mosaic discovered in Hefzibah Kibbutz in 1928. Mosaic floor of a 6th century Jewish synagogue. It'll presage an entry, song number 23. 23, count them. Going to be sung by Evelyn Samuel and Camille, Prit Pashushar and Glenn Pilvery, Kari Silma and Marianne Karmas. All had a hand in writing it. We're back on the beach. It's the old Dead Sea mud, unless I missed my guess. I was down there myself, and I washed my hands in the Dead Sea mud, washed them off in the Dead Sea, and my skin has been so soft ever since. The Estonian entry will be sung in English, called Diamond of the Night. You see, to your delight, yet another fiddle come into play, and nice to see the old harp make a belated entry.